Oh, we're getting word here. One more award. I'm sorry about that. This award it's actually like kind of a medical award. It's most likely to have a heart attack or a myocardial infarction after smoking too much weed. Now this award, you have to have certain criteria. You have to be morbidly obese, you have to be sedentary, you have to be just sitting there constantly, daily, day in, day out. It's a special award. And basically you have to smoke so much weed that you will likely die from a myocardial infarction or a heart attack. And that's Brian McClay from Beyond Wednesdays. Congratulations, Brian. You don't have much longer in this mortal coil. I congratulate you on your sedentary lifestyle.
The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
the top talents in the comic book business are here to tell everything they know.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Industry of Comics show. This is episode 118. And yes, we did have some technical difficulties. And as you saw in the pre-show commercial, if you saw the pre-show commercial, you saw the the reason for the technical difficulties. It's what my myocarda infarction or whatever Sticky calls it. So
it's a heart attack.
Yeah, those aren't one of those lead glasses you're drinking out of, is it? One of those old McDonald's lead glasses?
It 100% is.
Yes, it is. Holy cow. You can give me a disclaimer right now.
Look at this. What's so great about these ones is...
That's the Burger King one.
It's got Slave Leia. Slave Leia, yeah.
Only drink from that side.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the Burger King ones. I actually have the complete collection with the original bags they came in, with the paper bags.
Nice. Yeah.
I had a buddy, a really good friend of mine, call me up and he goes, "Hey, I got something for you." I go, "Okay." He goes, "I'm gonna bring it over," and he brings it over, and it's 40 of those glasses. All the glasses. There's probably like 5 of each of them. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool shit.
They get good money. They sell really well in the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
we do $40 each, or two for 60.
Nice. All right, lots to talk about tonight, you guys. We're just going to get straight into it. First thing I want to talk about is the header, and that is what is going on over at Marvel. And I don't know if everybody has seen this, but multiple things that we've been talking about at Marvel lately, and the loss of David Gabriel. The turnover in the execs, all that stuff, the bad writing over there. It's just been a complete shit show, other than their video game area with Marvel Rivals, which has been doing such a great job. The Magic the Gathering stuff, everybody's talking about that right now. Seems like everything other than comics is what people are kind of talking about.
That Magic the Gathering card is going for $15.
Yeah.
The promo card from the Avengers Armageddon?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So the big news, though, that I saw today, and I don't know if you guys saw this. Check this out. Let me go into hold on, let me do this. Let me get into the Matrix. Everybody's gonna be like, "What is going on here? More technical difficulties?" Nope, you're just joining the Matrix. All right, here we go. So this got announced recently, just today, on 6/16. Today is, of course, 6/16 day. Big deal. They announced a new Punisher Daredevil series tie-in that we'll get to in a second. But this was the news that made me go, what the fuck is going on? USA Today launches weekly Spider-Man Today series. Now, when I first saw this, I'm like, cool. Does that mean that we're going to have a new Spider-Man strip in USA Today? And then, Emmett, I thought the exact same thing that you said. Wait, does USA Today even print paper anymore? And oh, no, it's all digital? Yeah, all digital. Al Ewing and Todd Knox series is exclusive to the online USA Today Play Hub, now including over 1,000 Marvel comic titles for subscribers. How crazy is this? I thought that we kind of realized that the digital stuff doesn't work when Comixology kind of died, but then I realized myself, I read everything on digital. So I don't know what to think anymore about digital comics. Is this going to work for Marvel? Is this just more, something that is just kind of silly and is not going to bring new readers?
I think the notion is Comixology was way too soon. And I think now is a better time with everything going on with AI and everything that can help this reach more people. I think Comixology had a lot of limitations when it came out. And the final point I'll make on this is there was a lot of retailers who were so against comicology that could never actually grow. I think a lot of retailers would actually push this to help grow their business.
What do you think, Emmett?
Yeah, no, I think whenever you can get comics in front of people's eyes, I just think that it's like a bonus for I don't know how many subscribers they're going to get to USA Today so that they can read the Marvel comics. Because I think most of the people want to read online all bootleg them. There's multiple bootleg sites, and pretty much everybody just uses those.
Yep.
And you know, that's just where we're at with this. If they can't stop people from getting it for free, it's never going to mean anything as far as a moneymaker for anybody, and it's not going to move the needle in their subscriptions. But if people who already have a subscription start to look at it, and we're not talking about any young people, right? Who's a USA Today paper online subscription? I don't know if you remember the USA Today or ever read it. It pretty much was fluff.
Mm-hmm.
Even like there was no hard hitting news in it. It was all just like very surface level bullet statements, news. Used to get it free at like which hotel? One of the hotels you used to every morning. It was out in front of your hotel.
Yeah, Holiday Inn or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, they teamed up with them, and you could get a USA Today free whenever you stayed at one of these places. But
so I want to play this before I get your comment on this, Sean, because I forgot to play this. Here we go. This is Ewing talking about it.
But what am I doing here? I'm not a rock star. I am a comic book editor. Get rid of this for me. Thank you so much, Heather. I am Nick Lowe. I am the Spider-Man editor at Marvel Comics.
Nick
and
Lowe,
I have
sorry.
the great joy of making a new Spider-Man comic exclusively on USA Today Play. Now, it is something you'll read on your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, however you go to get your stuff. But to do it acoustically, we had to get creative. So, how do you do that with a scrollable digital comic? This is how. We got it right here. We have Spider-Man Today #1. Years ago. Behold, true believers, a simple spider spinning a simple web. Nothing out of the ordinary, you might think. But this web was spun in an atomic science laboratory during a live demonstration, and this spider got too close. In its dying moments, the radioactive spider lands on a high school science nerd named
Does he go on
Peter
like this?
Parker.
Yeah, hold on.
Ow! A spider, it bit me. But why is it burning?
it's
Why is it
retelling
glowing that way?
what everybody
His
already
origin.
Know the rest.
fucking knows.
Spider-Man Today, now. Oh, what a beautiful morning. The sun's out, the birds are singing, traffic's honking. Days like this, New York has a smile on her face. Get off of my window, you
Do you want to read your comics in a scrollable version? Because that's what they're doing now. And this is what's interesting to me, is that they're changing the dynamics of the way comics are usually drawn or created from these page spreads into a scrollable vertical version. And that's what they're doing here with these new books, it seems, which is a very different thing than just putting the comics on digitally. They're changing the way comics are made and
The paneling
paneling.
and stories are told. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you went back a little bit, if you saw the background, no one had faces. So it's like really whatever's in front is the more important part.
Yeah.
And it is Todd Knock.
Todd Knock and Al Ewing are doing, Al Ewing's doing the writing and then Knock's doing the art. Sean, what are your thoughts?
Well, a couple of questions. Like, they're making this new series just for USA Today. I think that's awesome. Like, I think it's cool. I think it's great. I'm aligned with kind of what Emmett's thinking is anytime somebody's reading a comic, it's a good thing. The USA Today thing's kind of weird. I agree. It's not bringing in a younger generation, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I think it's ultimately, think a big picture here, right? So if comics just start going more and more digital, I know on DC Unlimited, and I'm pretty sure on Marvel's app also, or DC Universe or Marvel Unlimited, you can't get like a weekly release comics day of release. You have to wait like a couple months. Like I know Absolute Batman, I was able to catch up on back issues on the DC Unlimited, and then I got to a point to where I was like 2 issues behind. I had to go, read the actual hard copies. So as long as they're not doing day of release, I think that's a good thing. But then I don't know. We could wind up going into a more collectible, even more of a collectible industry than we already are, right? Like we all want everybody to read comics. Read your comics, read your comics, read your comics. Well, if people start reading digitally, because guys, we've already talked about this, these devices, man, they're not going anywhere.
Right.
Not going anywhere. So, and the younger generation is on their phones and tablets. We know this, right? Look at any kid in a park, they're not even playing, they're glued to iPads anyway. If people start reading digitally, that's less print copies, which means potentially, I don't know, smaller print runs so they're more collectible. Maybe like that's one possible outcome. But then if there's less people reading hard copies, then is that less stores? Is that more people buying online? Because online buying seems to be the future. Streaming, I mean, our country's behind other countries. I don't know. We're sitting at a very interesting time, and all these little steps that Marvel's doing and other people are doing, it's just a sign of the times that the industry is literally changing before our eyes every single day. Every single day.
And here's some good numbers for you. So USA Today has 156,000 paper subscribers that get the paper throughout the nation. Now you take 17,500 cities into that. That's not a lot of papers. Their digital subscriptions are 1,370,000 digital subscribers. So it already tells you the difference in their readership, right? And so what happens is, if you take 1 million people that turn on the digital paper, does that count as a digital read for Spider-Man, or do they have to go to that actual page? So there's a lot of ways to look at this, but the difference between numbers is huge. So like Sean says, does that change the way people buy their comic books? Well, by USA Today standards, they've already changed the way people read their paper.
Yeah.
Would you guys rather Marvel spend money bringing new readers into comics through projects like this, or spend money supporting comic shops directly?
No.
What do you mean?
Marketing. Bring more people. Get people to read. I don't care where they get the books. My business is my business, right? I'm responsible for that. I don't need them to be responsible for my business. What I need them to do is sell their product.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with them. It too. Like, I'd rather them do stuff like this. Like, go harvest, cast a wide net, bring in more people, find more people that'll read. I don't care if they're scrolling like this, because eventually, in my opinion, you'll get people that want a hard copy of things.
A percentage,
yeah.
Especially since it seems like they have this new series, but then they'll like be talking to somebody about Spider-Man, and they'll be like, "Oh, man, you should read the other, or you should read Brand New Day, or you should read," and then that's not going to be available, and they'll have to come to a comic shop to get it, or a library, or somewhere. And then at some point, they might wander into a comic shop.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jesse. I want to hear you.
I was going to say, so one of the reasons why I got into Dungeons and Dragons was every month they had a new story on the back page of Marvel Comics, and it was only 8 panels, and they did it for about 6 months, and then they ended. Right. And so how did I get into Dungeons and Dragons? That was so imprinted in my mind that all of a sudden I started going to the mall and saying, "Oh, I recognize this Dungeon and Dragon thing. So let me buy this manual and figure this out." So I think if they can do it in a way where there's maybe an extension to the store, right, and say, "Hey, if you want the full story, you can get the full copy at a comic book store," and let the reader decide. but it's all about imprinting that brand, that Marvel brand, that Spider-Man brand. Spider-Man's the best to do because most people know who Spider-Man
Yep.
is. So I think investing the money in that arena is much better than investing in comic book stores where the people are already going there.
Yeah.
To get Spider-Man.
It's multiple comics. It's Hulk, Spider-Man, and I think 2 others that they're doing, which is interesting.
And parents may just turn their phone on and hand it to their kid.
Well, that
right?
is what
To read that.
to me is the thing, because 10 years from now, more people will read Spider-Man through an app than they do through a comic shop. And this is Marvel seeing where their future readers are going to be, or future audience, I should say, is going to be. It's going to be digital than it is.
They have tried desperately to monetize digital, and it is very hard. Very hard to monetize digital.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the other thing that is interesting, though, is, Lewis says current USA subscribers, USA Today subscribers probably skew older. This is an attempt to draw in new younger readers into their subscription. So that's also interesting, but I don't think younger readers are into comics.
Same.
Well, here's some information on this. Did you know that the average reader, 40 or 52% of the average readers over at USA Today are 14 to 35 years old?
I don't believe that, but that's just me.
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
I don't believe that.
Literally
for a
just
second.
pulled it up.
I think most people 14 to 35 years old
18 to 24 is 14%. I got the numbers wrong. 25 to 34 is 18%. 35 to 44 is 20%. So that's 44 and below is 52% of their readers. 45 to 54 is 18%. 55 to 64 is 13%. And 65 plus is 17%.
And where does that come from? Where does that information come from?
That comes from the USA Today demographic data page.
Yeah, them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So the media age is 44.1 years is their average.
I mean, that seems like a believable thing, I guess. Yeah. It seems like Marvel, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think all this kind of spells out Marvel, especially with the layoffs and everything else that's happening. Marvel's moving away from being a publishing company that makes movies more towards an entertainment company that makes comics. Right. So their priority is like flipped. It's kind of been that way before. Like I've said this before, our biggest complaint a long time ago was the comics aren't matching up to the movies that are coming out. We can't capitalize as retailers on the movie hype.
There's no synergy. Right.
Well, now there's all kinds of synergy. I mean, the 616 blind bags, the Dr. Doom masks, and they're pushing Dooms all over everything, and Doom took over the whole thing, and now God, there's so many Doom titles, right? Almost as many Doom titles as Spider-Man, it seems like. So
how many of those bags are you how many did you order, and how many are you opening?
I ordered 500, and they're selling very well. Like, I've only opened maybe 20 of them. And we just open them to help people. If they buy it in a live show, they buy multiples. If they get a double, we'll let them switch the double out for something they don't have. Yeah.
Right. So based on that, are you saying, Sean, that the ideology is the same? It's just in a different space that they're trying to attract new customers? Is that what you're basically saying?
I don't know. It seems like they're just shit. I honestly don't know, brother. It feels like they're more focused on the movies and the comics, and a telltale sign could be there's nothing happening with Wolverine right now in the movies at all, right? And his comic is total garbage and trash right now. It's complete trash. It's unreadable, complete garbage. Uncanny X-Men is unreadable garbage with all these new characters no one gives a shit about. The only title that's halfway decent in there is Ultimate. I think it was Jed McKay is writing X-Men, I think. That's the only halfway readable X title. So, but Dr. Doom has got A-listers on it. I mean, the Dungeons of Doom had 4 different creators on that title. It was a great freaking series. It was a fun read. Zdarsky's Red Hulk and Captain America with the whole Avengers Armageddon thing. That's their big summer crossover.
And the Doom is all the Dungeon Doom and all those books are meant something to this Armageddon.
Yeah, in a way they tied into it because
Right.
Armageddon started in Latveria when they overthrew the government when Doom died, right? But anyway, it just seems like, especially with, again, when you put it all together, this USA Today thing, the firings and hirings they did, the shifting around at the hierarchy, putting the movie dude in charge of comics.
They're pushing away from the former norm of comics. Like you said, Sean, they got rid of David Gabriel, who was a brick and mortar guy. They got rid of him. They got this new, like, it's totally exactly what you're saying. They've become that entertainment company that does comics rather than a comic company.
And look at this thing now. Every single, for the last 2 months, there's been how many Magic the Gathering covers?
A lot.
Right?
5
That's
a month,
entertainment,
4 a
right?
month.
That's a
Yeah.
crossover with a huge TCG thing. And good for them, bro. Those are sounding like crazy for us, by the way.
Their set comes out this weekend.
Man, those books are blowing up for us. We cannot keep them in stock.
This is the new announcement today that got announced for 616 Day, this new Big Guns, which, here's what I like about this. It isn't a new series. It takes place in the currently running Deadpool and Punisher storylines, which I like. I would rather I feel like that helps more to have it take place in the running storylines than rather creating a new title for people to buy. In the past, that might have been the way to do it to sell more comics, but I think now people are just like, you know what, I'd rather just skip it if it's going to be a new book to buy. But I could be wrong about that. What do you guys as retailers see when it comes to like that type of situation?
Well, I think, go ahead, Emmett.
Deadpool for me sells like Ninja Turtles, like Power Rangers. You just buy it and put it in the back bins when the week's over. My regular comic people don't buy it, but people come in and go, "Do you have Deadpool?"
Yeah.
And then they buy five Deadpool out of the back bins.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I can never overbuy those because it'll always sell, just not today.
Right. Well, the interesting thing about, let me answer the question first. So one of the cool things that you could look in comic book lore, who did they do that they felt was important to kill the Marvel Universe? It was Punisher and Deadpool. So you have this lore going on for like the last 20 years. Deadpool is, when Emmett said people come in and buy 5 copies, they don't even care what number they are. They're just like, I'll just take 5 copies of Deadpool and I can just read it. And it doesn't have to be a series for me. So I think what they're looking at is they're looking at the old generation that says, wow, these are the 2 guys that really came in and did all these cool things and killed the Marvel Universe. And now in modern times, you then grab all these young kids who really know Deadpool from the movies. And a lot of people relate to Punisher on the TV show and stuff. So I think it makes sense what they're doing here. I don't think there's any rocket science in this team up. I just think it's comic lore has said that these are the 2 best people to do something with.
Yeah, it's also like the chicken and the egg thing, right? They're not doing this. They're doing this because, number one, Deadpool was a humongous movie for them.
Yep.
Rated R Deadpool changed the trajectory of what Marvel was doing at the box office, right? And then they made, like, why did they make the Punisher one shot, the movie, basically the Disney Plus movie of the Punisher on Disney Plus? Well, they did that because of how popular he was in the Daredevil series and then the Punisher series. So of course they did this. Those numbers got to be gangbusters.
Yeah. So popular, they're putting him in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
like,
he's showing up.
That's not to bump Punisher. That's to bump Spider-Man.
100%. And then so now this series comes across because of the success of the movies and the Disney Plus. Allow me a second to rant here, going a quick little rabbit hole. This pisses me off for a couple of reasons. remember when Marvel was so effing woke, they took the Punisher and made him a hand ninja, and they got rid of the guns and they got rid of his logo because it was problematic and all this other bullshit. Now look at him. Oh, everybody really likes the Punisher. Oh, we're going to feature him again. Fuck you guys. Like we don't like. I remember when you were so woke and said, "Oh, we don't like the Punisher anymore." And Jason Aaron wrote this bullshit ass series. It's almost like, never forget. Like I'll never forgive them for that. For abandoning
a lot
the
of
Punisher.
a lot of Punisher fans feel that way, Sean.
I was huge Punisher fan, dude. Always have been a huge Punisher fan. And then, when I joined the Marines, I was like, oh my God, Frank Castle was a Marine and all this other shit when I was a kid, right? Like I always felt this kind of kidship with the guy, And then they did all that bullshit with him, and it's like, you sell out freaking fake ass
that's every corporation. They all have to sell out when they get worried.
And now that Disney owns Marvel, it's obviously that they've sold out and they're going that route. But they know what they want money. They don't want to do things the quote unquote way that the community or the people think. They want money now. And the money is the ultimate thing. So they know that people aren't going to buy Punisher.
They're really not writing the Punisher, even now that they brought him back. They're not writing him like the show.
Yeah, like Mike Barron, would write him, or Garth Ennis.
Garth Ennis, man. That was the
nobody will ever
series.
Write. Yeah, nobody will ever write nobody will ever write anything like Garth Ennis.
Yeah,
but in that TV series, when he freaking, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it again, when that guy's like, he took more than that from me, and he looks at that dude laying on the ground, helpless, defenseless, and he decides to freaking shoot him at the end. That's the Punisher.
Yeah,
that is the Punisher. In the beginning of that show, when he shows he's slightly unhinged. And he's having all these flashbacks. He's dealing with his PTSD, and he finally is talking to his dead imaginary friend, and he's like, I think I need help. Like, he finally says those words, like, oh my God, dude. Like, that was the perfect Punisher one-shot movie they could have done. Like, when they got to the action, it was incredible. Anyway, I'm ranting.
Just like Hatebreed was used in it. So shout out to all the Hatebreed fans out there. And this is
the last little point on that. But then now, whoever's yelling at me in the chat for not using woke the right way, like, you can, like, fuck you. We all know what it means. We all know what it means when all the wokies decided that we have to make this as problematic. We have to eliminate the logo. We have to make him a ninja and all this other bullshit. Well, guess what? The public has spoken. They're paying attention to the money now and not the woke Nazis. There's a term for you. That'll piss everyone in the chat off. Not all the woke Nazis that are like, oh no, we have to do it our way and we're in charge of comics now. It's like, fuck you. The Punisher's back. Marvel's finally listening to the real fans and following the money, because the real fans spend money where they want it to be. We spend our watch time watching what we want to watch. Boom, we're getting a Punisher Deadpool crossover, which is awesome. And look at that cover you showed. That cover was epic. Like, I want to buy that just for that Punisher cover with the big ass guns in the front. Remember when Marvel wouldn't even put guns on their covers for a while?
Right, sure.
Well, this is
put a gun on the cover.
This is artist
look at
Jose Maria Casanovas. Do you guys know much about Jose Maria Casanovas?
No, but I love that. Look at that Punisher, dude.
The Punisher looks very Zek-like.
It is very Zek-y. Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Oh, wait, hold on. That's
there he is.
Wrong. Hold on here.
What?
Is it Cardinal or
Casanova?
Cardinal Casanova.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was Emmett's dad for a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's check out his Instagram. Does he have an Instagram? No. Let's go IG.
Just comic art or some shit. I don't know.
Here we go. Nope, that's definitely not him.
Wow! Holy cow!
All right, let's go.
He's got a very common name for.
Is that the top? Was it the top one?
Probably Italian.
Yeah. This is. I'm just gonna go to the League of Comic Geeks. You can see all the stuff he works on. A lot of stuff here. So let's go.
Is that his cover for Deadpool?
No, I
the
don't
new
think
series?
so. Let me go. Let's take a look here. Oh no,
Could
that's
be.
they're
Oh,
doing
there
the
it is,
new
yeah.
one. So that's Deadpool number 8. So I don't know. He worked on Rogue One, it looks like.
That just
So
came out too.
yeah, he's done some work, but I don't see much. Let's go to images,
It
maybe.
could be new.
Yeah, images.
Ooh, he did a Thunderbolts. Ooh, wow! Look at that.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's his style. Look at that.
Very cool.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that was great. I saw that today. They announced it. I was like, holy crap, this is awesome.
Look at this one.
Yeah,
But-
they have to have well, you kind of said something. Marvel is really not doing anything other than Doctor Doom, and that's their focus. And then you got this, but what is other than Absolute? And this is just a question for you guys. Other than Absolute, if you take out Absolute, what's the next top 3 selling titles for DC?
Well, all the absolutes.
Well, yeah, no, that. But if you take out that, anything else stick out?
Batman, just the regular Batman series with Matt
Green
Fraction.
Lantern, Aquaman. Aquaman's really good right now.
The new
really
Aquaman,
good.
now that it's
Emperor.
Aquaman,
Yeah.
It's
really
so
good.
good. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
It is starting to gain steam. They are working on all of their stuff across the board.
Yeah.
I think they need to replace the absolute Flash writer.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's sad because he's so good. I can't remember his
Yeah.
name. I just spaced his
Dennis Camp is doing Martian Manhunter, but that's Absolute.
That's
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
He just
Well,
got
my-
signed
Yeah.
to be a exclusive at DC.
yeah.
Yeah, and
He's
I
going to
think
be doing another book.
my point is that Absolute DC's got Absolute, so they know they got that workhorse. And I think what Marvel is doing is they're saying, okay, who's our workhorse? And obviously it's going to be Doctor Doom. And I think that's, Sean, when they said, well, what else are they doing? I think that's what they're really trying to focus on. What is our workhorse and how can we spread that out as much as possible?
Well, I think they're going to lose probably the 2 best-selling books, probably Daredevil and Chip Zdarsky's Captain America.
The Zdarsky stuff is so good over there. And
Yeah.
Daredevil got a little weird there for a couple issues. I don't know if she has the chops to carry that series for 15
Right.
issues.
Well, I don't
No.
think she'll be. I think she's going to move. She's going to jump to DC. I think.
No, she's locked in over there for a bunch of issues.
I thought I heard. She
Yeah,
had
but I don't think she
13
has an
or 15.
exclusive. That doesn't mean she can't. She's a writer. She's not an artist.
No,
Yeah.
she just signed. She just did a new book over there. They announced a new book she's doing just today. I can't remember what it was, but
Oh, because she was dropping all kinds of hints, saying, "I'm absolutely having a good time," and all these
Right.
other DC hints.
Yeah, and the demographics on Daredevil is, it has a huge women base that is buying that, and then they have to find a way to keep that base if she does do any moves.
yeah,
Yeah.
Gold 76 is a one shot that she's writing. So I don't know, man. I think that she if I was Marvel, I would latch on to her. And we talked about it last time. She's very good, smart on
She's
social
a great
media.
marketer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great
yeah.
marketer.
Yeah,
She's
she's a
done a
good
lot of
hype
store
person for
signings.
sure.
Yeah.
And especially if Grimm is optioned. Yeah. But we know all this about options. Almost everything's been optioned. Once there's a star attached and there's like a when it's going to be start filming, if that hits, man, she'll blow up huge. Like
A lot of her stuff, man, I didn't like. I tried reading her Ghost Spider. I could not read it. I tried reading her Harley Quinn for a little while. I could not read it. It's written for not me. It's not written for 53-year-old dudes. It's written for,
right.
girls or stuff like that. So in the Daredevil, even is kind of not. The first one was okay, but then I don't know. It's been. We'll see.
Well,
I
Marvel,
just-
3 comes out tomorrow. I didn't get to read it, but 3 comes out.
Marvel-
Last
I
week.
read-
It came out last week.
they
Yeah, I read
also
that.
announced this, which is very interesting, the return of the Marvel Mangaverse, which was excellent back in the day. I love the Spider-Man Mangaverse stuff, and this has been a
Been done.
no-brainer.
Those
to
covers
me.
are great.
Yeah. And look how good that looks. That Spider-Man looks. All these look good. This one looks amazing though. The Ultimate.
That
the
X-23
Miles.
is cool as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to
That's
like
like-
that art style. I just don't. I mean,
Same.
I don't
art's
like this
subjective,
art
so-
style. This is the artist that's doing all of it, Yuji Kaku, and I'm not a fan of this, but I do love the Ultimate Spider-Man look here. But I'm not a fan of it when it's like this. And that artist is doing all the covers for them, not the interior art. Mirka Andolfo's doing interior on one of them. Ghost Lock is one of them. Web of Destiny. So, but we'll see how this plays out.
I've been really trying to get into manga because it's such a good seller, and trying to figure out, some of the new titles, reading them and seeing, if that. I have no idea what's good and bad in this. I hate the storytelling. I think it's terrible. I don't really think there's so much that's not said
Yeah.
that everybody's
Well,
like,
this-
"Oh, what do you mean you didn't know?" And it's like, "Oh, you had to read 45 issues to understand like issue 46."
But I think that
can't- I
this
never
is
get into
also
manga.
showing that they're at least realizing that where comics
they're
is going.
reaching.
Yeah. So,
Well, I think they just want to reach that market.
Mhm.
I can guarantee you they don't think that's where comics are going.
No, they don't. But I think if they do their research and see how many, I mean, my manga section, anime section is huge because we put in all our anime and manga comics with the manga itself.
Mhm.
And so there is a crossover, but you got to kind of educate them, not on the story arcs, but you got to kind of bring them over to American comics because most people that look for that stuff go right there and then right to the cash register.
well, not only
gotta-
that, DC sees where it's going, and they announced this today. They're doing 27 lines for kids.
No, that's in 2027.
Okay. Sorry, I apologize. So they're doing these DC compacts for kids, starting with
Yep.
Batman Adventures, right? They're going to do. And then there's new characters and a new team. This is the Princesses, DC Princesses, a young
think that's a
Green
great idea.
Lantern, and a
Yeah,
brand new
me too.
character. So,
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
They got to get young girls, young kids reading comics. The compacts has been such a hit with adults. I think it's fantastic to get them actually reading the freaking
Right.
book.
Yep.
You want more boys to read comics? Get more girls to read comics.
Oh, good one.
so
Because as
Yeah.
soon as girls think they're cool, then boys know that's okay to think they're cool.
I think this princess thing's a great idea. What they need is
Yep.
a princess series on a YouTube channel or some
Yep.
shit, you know?
well, this is the interesting one, the new Green Lantern.
Could you pick a more character that people just could care less about?
Oh,
It
bro,
really
I don't know
is
what you're
not
talking
good.
about, dude. I fucking love Green Lantern. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Batman and Green Lantern are my two favorite DC characters.
Dude, I can't sell between Green Lantern Core, Green Lantern,
Oh my
Absolute
gosh,
Green
you
Lantern
can't sell
finally
Green
got
Lantern
good.
Corps? Wow, that's
This
great.
is the
now
new
see-
You can
book.
sell it for shit.
I sold that Gotham Academy. That sold well for me.
Yeah,
and they
back in the
ended
day.
it, and-
yeah.
Yeah.
This right here is the new character they're coming out with, Manifestations of Bobby Park.
Jeremy Holt.
Mm-hmm. And Chong Wah. I think that's how you say it, Wah. So, but that's a big deal, you know. They're looking at what's going on with those compacts. I think, multiple retailers do very well with these compacts.
Mhm.
And it's mostly young people buying them.
and it's manga size, right? Mangas are usually that size, so
Right. Well, one of the things when you look at big box, they look at how easy is this to display. So trying to display a comic book at Books A Million, where they just fold over and they bend and blah blah blah. Where you got these now, hey, we got DC and Marvel comic book compact books, just the same as the comic book. So that's great for a big retailer box, and they're going to sell.
I can't
tons
wait
of those
for
people.
those are going to be huge at Christmas stocking stuffers and shit for people. Like, oh my god,
Yep.
such
Yep.
a great idea.
And
They just
as
need
a
to put them at
retailer,
airports.
Yeah, as a retailer, I would suggest still putting at least half of that inventory into your anime shelves. If you do it in alphabetical order or however, put them in, blend them in, and people will buy them. They will be excited to see it.
So
Don't keep it separate.
we have new news. This is so funny. Not funny in a wrong way, but layoffs have begun at Dark Horse Comics.
But union, but
It'll make it more difficult, but
I don't think
So-
they're formally formed yet.
I don't think they're
Yeah.
formally formed either. So
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Better
'cause
let them all
I'm-
go before they unionize.
there's
Yeah.
only 89 people. How many people are they going to have left?
It
Or
says just
59.
over a week after Dark Horse Comics agreed to voluntarily recognize Dark Horse Workers United as an employee union, Dark Horse Workers United and its parent union, the Communication Workers of America, sent a cease and desist letter to Dark Horse management on June 11th, claiming sudden actions against the workforce that we believe violate the status quo of operations until we negotiate a contract. So they're in the middle of negotiating the contract and they're like, let's
See?
take this time to fire people. According to
See?
two Dark Horse employees, the cease and desist letter comes in response to Dark Horse's management's decision to terminate the employment of 9 Dark Horse staff members in the IT and operations department.
So if
See?
the union cannot protect you from a company or a government or anybody who dissolves that position. If they're like, oh, we're going to outsource our IT, we're going to use this company to do all of our IT. We don't need IT employees anymore. You can't protect that job.
But I think that's if remember, read their letter why they wanted to form a union. Part of it was from how I read it was, we're afraid they're going to fire a bunch of us, so we need to
Yeah.
form a union.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what part of it said.
Right.
Yeah.
And I fucking said this, man. I said, watch, it's going to hinder their ability to run their business because they're going to try to make all. And sure enough, oh, we got to let 9 of you guys go. Whoa, we haven't negotiated a contract and blah, blah, blah. It's like, hold on a minute there, Turbo. If we can't afford to pay you, we can't afford to freaking pay you, union or not. If there's no money, there's no money.
Well,
This
they're
is
going to
what-
pay somebody else to do it.
This
Like,
is
it's
what
not that they can't afford to pay them.
Well,
They're just
okay,
going to pay somebody else.
So then they probably get it for a cheaper rate or a better deal. That's the only reason they
Well,
would dissolve a position.
It's the benefits. Once you get into a union, you start talking about benefits.
Yeah,
right?
medical and all that shit, and PTO,
and then when you pay for a company outside, you don't have to do that.
yeah, if you're a contractor, you don't got to worry about medical and dental and
Right.
PTO plans and
Yeah,
maternity leave and
I would be interested in those 9 were just 1099 employees and hadn't even maybe joined
Well,
the union.
this is what Dark Horse said. They said they are currently undergoing a long planned strategic transformation to ensure future stability and success in an ever evolving market. We are making the necessary business adjustments today so that we can continue to serve our creators and fans for the next 40 years and beyond. Regarding our staff's move to organize, we remain fully committed to the voluntary recognition of the DHWU. We welcome input from CWA and DHWU as we believe the most productive way to address any concerns is through direct, good faith dialogue. Our door remains open, and we look forward to working collaboratively with union leadership to build a sustainable future for our company and all its employees. That reads as, we're going to give you a bunch of word salad. We don't give a fuck, but we're covering our ass.
here's you want me to translate that for you? Hey, we're trying to keep the fucking business open, and we have to let some people go because the market's changing.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's
they
exactly what it
use
says.
they use the greatest legal term possible. Good faith.
Yep.
And
Good faith.
on the same note, this was interesting. IDW narrows losses to almost nothing. Almost nothing. This is great. Revenues rise thanks to comics. IDW slashed its 6-month net loss to just $3,000 for the fiscal 2026, as total revenue climbed roughly 16% year over year. And this
Well,
was,
I'm
yeah,
not making a comment on that. I'm leaving that one alone.
Why? Why?
You can't if you already had negative on top of negative on top of negative on top of negative on top of negative, and then you say, oh, we're doing better. Yeah, because your negative is so low that of course you're now going to start making money at some point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the threshold is, okay, what was your high point and you made money at this point right here because this high point no longer exists. You kind of chiseled it away. So your expectations are so low now. Um, and that's fine. And I understand this is in their mind, this is a good write-up. But if you look at the trend over the last 5 years, obviously you're gonna hit this point.
Well, it says here they had stronger direct market sales, growth in backlist sales, better digital sales, some licensing revenue, and their IDW Dark is what really helped them was their horror line. And then of course, TMNT and Sonic and some other licensing deals there worked out for him. So
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they lost Transformers and GI Joe,
All the
obviously to
Hasbro stuff,
Skybound.
yeah.
But
Yeah, and when you lose something like that, you're depreciating that loss over time. So who knows how long that depreciation of loss? It's been what, 3 years?
hold on, where's that dude in the chat? I'm gonna use
About
his
that.
favorite word. Well, when you want to publish a bunch of woke comics and make Transformers transgender and make a GI Joe guys transgender too, like you're gonna lose your core audience. So no wonder why you lose the license.
Yep.
What is the core audience so afraid of?
How about just
don't know.
I don't know afraid of anything. How about just reality?
I don't think they're afraid of anything. I think it goes back to what we all know is that comic fans and comic readers respect and want continuity. And when you change a character's status quo that they've had for years upon years, and it's the reason that you fell in love with that character, I think that is what they're afraid of. They don't want you to
agree
change
with
things.
with most of the opportunity that the comic industry had. They squandered on tokenism, where they took a character they already had and changed them into something that they weren't.
Jason Todd,
which is very not only. I mean, there's
Jonathan
so many.
Kent.
Yeah.
Jonathan Kent, and so on and so forth. Which, had they just created a new character, then people would want to collect a new character.
Yeah. I said that all the time. Just make a new Superboy and make him bisexual. Don't take an existing character and change it.
Correct.
I don't give a shit. One of my favorite characters in all the comics is Midnighter and Apollo.
Yeah,
me too.
Right?
Yeah, I love.
And they're a gay couple, and I love them. They're cool as shit.
They're perfect. Yeah.
Oh my god, their stories are the best stories, man. And the authority they carry, that whole authority line.
Yep.
I love I'd be first in line to buy anything from those characters.
Well,
They're
they
so
squandered
good.
authority too. I mean, there's now
Yeah.
like what a waste of that. They shelved
wasted
that. Yeah.
They may change their minds on that though, because the compact, the authority compact is selling really well.
Oh man, both those authority series are so good.
So good.
Guys, if everyone in the chat, if you haven't read Authority, you're missing out on one of the great comics, man. Pick it up. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's probably the
good.
best thing that came out of Wildstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even better than the boys. I liked it better than boys.
The thing that drove me nuts is that they were making those characters just for the sake of making those characters. It wasn't part of the story. It was all part of an agenda. We need to have trans this and woke this and buy that and whatever. So they did it with that intention. It wasn't a naturally occurring part of a storyline. It was, let's have a transformer or some shit. So it's like, of course you're going to lose people.
Well, they were all doing it. So
yeah, everybody.
Again, money pushes people, companies to do things that, is pretty ridiculous a lot of the time. So,
and I think there was an essence of is our loss going to be less than our gain, or is it going to be bigger than our gain by changing that? And they learned real fast that their losses were huge.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about, and we're going to get even more into this for the rest of the week. This is actually a pretty big story in the retailer community that's going on now. Probably more apt for drama alert, but it is very interesting to talk with retailers about this situation. And I just want to play this. There have been multiple videos that have come out this week about a retailer called Bottom Shelf Comics, and they have really they might have really hurt their business. I'll say they definitely hurt their business, and they might have to rebrand after this. It's that bad. And I'm just going to play you guys a couple of the videos that have come out now. This is the owner of the retailer name, the owner doing a Whatnot live sale this week, and these are just a couple of the videos. So here we go. All right.
This fandom. I thought Transformers fans were bad. Those are just like, 40, 50, 60-year-old dudes that like have no life. Dungeon Crawler Carl fans don't have a brain. One side doesn't have a life, the other side doesn't have a brain to use. It's insane. It's insane. Again, they're not for you. Has it beat Batman bad? Dude. So the problem with the Batman collectors, they're just like completionists. That's a different mental health disorder. The Dungeon Crawler Carl people are like, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. It's almost like they lack objectivity or like critical thought, or that like, just because, what's funny to me is what these people don't realize is there's like, I think 2 or 3 main groups right now of people that are trying to get all the comics. What they don't realize is their groups are infested with retailers.
Infested with retailers.
This fandom.
Here we go.
Congratulations.
So this person just bought this comic, Fuck Fairyland comic, it looks like.
Holy shit. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I really can't believe it. I'm shocked right now. Holy shit. Unbelievable. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Unfucking real. I'm so upset about this shit. Oh, I really wish they would have like at least opted us into this, right? I wish they would have just been like, hey, we just want to let you know, do you want your cover shown? Do you not want your cover shown? Like, fuck me, dude. Out of left field. What do you think based on my reaction right now? What does your gut tell you here? Fuck. Unbelievable.
So what was he so mad about in that one?
Hold on.
The book didn't sell for enough?
Fucking so stupid. This industry sucks dick, dude. I hate being in comics. Oh my God. The absolute worst, man. If it's not other sellers that are complete piles of shit, it's the fucking publishers, man. God damn it. I fucking can't believe it. Fuck me, dude. Fuck me. So fucking stupid. All right. I don't want to show you any of the.
So he just went on this huge crash out, and Big Clutch put out a post, and Big Clutch was one of the targets. I mean, said really bad things about Big Clutch. And here's the funny thing. I have never, ever in the 3 years that I have known Big Clutch, 3 or 4 years that I've known Big Clutch, ever heard anybody say anything but good things about him. And it really takes a lot for Big Clutch to put out a post like this. And this is what Big Clutch says. I was sent these videos earlier today. They were from a recent stream from Bottom Shelf Comics. He's been spewing this type of vitriolic language towards retailers, artists, publishers, and other companies for years. He starts by talking horribly about Transformers collectors who have been supporting his company through his mystery packs for years. Adds in a small jab at Batman collectors. Then he starts railing on Dungeon Crawler Carl fans, saying some really unacceptable things, and a brand new group of fans coming into the for a brand new group of fans coming into comic market. This is not how I and the majority of this industry feel about Dungeon Crawler Carl fans. We welcome everyone with open arms. After an amazing weekend at Heroes Con with other retailers, artists, fans, and friends, to see these videos on a Monday morning breaks my heart. This is not the industry that I'm part of and that I love. At the end of the day, we all have to make a choice who we work with. Retailers, artists, publishers, and fans, I made a decision not to work with Bottom Shelf years ago and have faced his verbal scorn ever since. In his last video, he says that the industry sucks dick and that he hates being in comics. Will, don't let the door hit you on the way out. And the amount of responses to this is unbelievable. And I'm going to start with this response. This is from Andy Dusso, comic artist. A lot of you guys love Andy Dusso comic art covers. Andy Dusso says, yeah, he printed my book without permission, payment, or comps, and then still proceeded to talk shit about me on eBay Live. But by the way, he's been kicked off of eBay Live as far as I know.
Yep. 100%.
Someone from the streams who had a payment issue sent me a copy God bless the community. Seriously though, in my 4 years of doing this is the only customer, company, anything that I've had any real issue with. Now, this is very interesting because Trolls Comics says, wait, hold on, he didn't pay you? That's horrible, bro. That's why I always tell artists to make sure they are paid in full before sending the final art. And I'm 99% sure this Willie 2 Cents is Will from Bottom Shelf. And Willie 2 Cents says, Andy Dusso, you mean the cover you were paid for by Skybound? Clown. Andy Dusso says, at Trolls Comics, it was a long road. He paid me really good, and I didn't even know how to submit a proper digital. Worked through it. Near the end, he was getting really picky and asking for huge changes upon completion. At the time, a digital piece took me a week, and I was green as fuck. We had an abrupt falling out, like not hearing from him for 6 months. He messaged me that he could get a Transformers printed and he wanted my address so he could send me a comp. But I just completely ignored him because of everything that happened. I thought he was going to try and W-2 me or something. He may have legitimately not realized it wasn't paid for. Some time had passed. It was just an outline I had sent him, no color, but he did release it without my permission. But honestly, I'm glad he did because it's Transformers. But a guy told me he was talking crap about me in a live, and that wasn't cool at all. I tried to talk to him with so many times near the end, but he wouldn't. Just super long audio messages from him, definitely in his piece. And I love how he brings up the audio message because that's what I have from Will. I have these super long audio message that he would send me complaining about shit. Now, this guy, I mean, if you continue to look, the comments are ridiculous. But Trolls Comics did a deep dive into the Andy Dusso story. Check this out.
On this episode of Top Shelf Comic is a Line POS, we have the 200 print run, which is BS because guess what? Dork has a 500 print run. Okay, so even if you destroy them or do whatever, which we know you're not doing anyway, 500 were printed. That's the whole reason it's called a print run. And the reason that Top Shelf's on my radar again is my man Big Clutch. Make sure you follow Big Clutch on IG. He made a post about Top Shelf talking bad about all kinds of stuff. Dungeon Crawler Carl and anybody that buys Transformers and just the typical stuff that Top Shelf goes off about. That I'm blocked from everything, so I don't see all the stuff he's been saying and doing lately. But apparently it's been, the same BS that he's been doing for years. But in the comments, okay, my man Andy Dusso Comic Art, amazing artist too, by the way. Make sure you go follow him. And I got some big things coming, Andy, coming up. So apparently he Top Shelf published his Transformers cover that without telling him, okay, and never paid him, and it's gonna get juicy. So I couldn't see this because, Will, which is also Top Shelf, has me blocked on everything. So I couldn't see this comment. So people were screenshot it and sent it to me. So Will, which is Top Shelf, says, you mean the cover you were paid for by Skybound, clown? This is towards Andy Dusso. He even tried gaslighting Brian McClay. Brian said, so Willie 2 Cents is Top Shelf. Why don't you post under your brand, coward? He said, no, sir, Top Shelf is Top Shelf, which is bullshit. That's you, Will. You even got your name in there because you're a narcissist. Fuck, man. And so Top Shelf goes, Transformers covers are not paid by retailers. They're paid by Skybound. You got paid by Skybound. So he's saying that, oh, Skybound paid you. So I know this motherfucker Top Shelf, and I know he didn't pay Andy, and Andy wouldn't lie to me about that. Okay, so Andy told me that this fucker didn't pay him, and he never got an email from Skybound about no check, no nothing. So guess what? Your boy Troll deals with Skybound. So guess what I did? I went right to the source. So I emailed everybody at Skybound, all my connects there, and I CC'd everybody. I said possible fraud in the top. So I said, hello, I talked to the artist Andy Dusso. He informed me that a store used his art on one of your Transformer covers without his permission. When I've dealt with Skybound before, the artist was included in the email and paid from Skybound directly. I think the retailer may have used a fake email pretending to be Andy. Andy has not received payment from Skybound, and the cover was not approved. The retailer is Top Shelf Comic. Please get back to me ASAP on the issue. I can add Andy to the email thread as well. So I get this email back from Skybound. Hi, JC. Moving accounts receivable to BCC for the time being. Blank here, which is the person that got back to me. Thanks for reaching out. Please add Andy to the chain here. We'd appreciate it. I believe this is Transformers #1 reprint that was printed a year and a half ago. Yes. JC, you're correct on our process, though. Sometimes retailers mistakenly pay retailers instead of allowing Skybound to pay first, which happened in the case with Andy Dusso. Again, please allow him to chime in here and we'll help the best you can. So you didn't pay him. You lied and said you paid him to Skybound. So Skybound did not pay him. You piece of shit. And all you brainwashed cucks that fucking follow Top Shelf and buy all his shit, okay? Because he's for artists and he gives the money back to artists. This isn't the only time he's done this. I guarantee you, okay? So, again, he completely fucked over Andy. He fucking took the money. He fucking printed the book without Andy's permission and fucked everybody. I don't think you guys realize, man, you gotta be a real big piece of shit for Big Clutch to make a post about you, okay? That dude literally is one of the chillest dudes I've ever met in comics, dude. He doesn't talk shit about nobody. He doesn't start no drama. He fucking keeps it real, okay? So if you're a piece of shit that much, that Big Clutch has to call you out, bro, you're a fucking piece of shit.
And it continues, and we'll just play this one, and then we'll start our panel commenting.
Man, isn't it crazy when you make a video saying that, you know, you're a scumbag and didn't pay an artist, and then you reach out to the artist and say, oh, yo, you're a liar and this and that, but you know what? I'm gonna send me an invoice and I'll pay you, even if Skybound doesn't, acting like Skybound's been this problem the whole time. So I'm glad Andy's finally gonna get his money from Top Shelf. So apparently he said to invoice him and he's gonna pay him. Any artists out there that are doing covers for any of these retailers, make sure you get paid before you send them the final art. In this case, Andy didn't even send him the final art. He sent him a sketch and he went and got it published. So like you could be screwed either way. But anybody that's having a problem that retailers not paying you for your art, please reach out to me. I'm not letting these dudes slide anymore.
And shout out to JC Troll for this one, and shout out to Big Clutch. And you know, this is something that definitely needs to be talked about. And I've been hearing about Bottom Shelf and Will for years now, and so has a couple of the panelists tonight. So much so that the stuff that I've been hearing makes me realize, like, this is how community comes together and how karma is a dish best served cold, right? Shout out to Rye, who just dropped a $5 super chat. He says, wait, the guy ranting is part of Ito's representation? Well, here's the funny thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Rye. This is Will at Bottom Shelf Comics is the retailer that anytime Ito would do a cover for another retailer or another publisher, Will at Bottom Shelf Comics would reach out to that publisher or that retailer and says, how did you get this cover? Ito works exclusively for me. He's exclusive for me. So much so that said publishers and retailers, well, I'll just talk about the publishers, said publishers had to reach out and say, hey, what is the deal with this guy? This guy is unhinged. Reaching out to Annabelle and Ito and saying, this type of stuff can't happen. We've brought it up before that, you know, he's hurting your career here. And we've talked about this on air. We just didn't mention that. Maybe we did mention it was with Ito and Bottom Shelf, but it's very telling when publishers are contacting the artist and saying, hey, this guy is hurting your career. And I want to say this straight up, and I'll say it multiple times throughout this week. Ito and Annabelle, be very weary and know that this guy has already hurt your reputation immensely. The comments, the calls, the audio messages that he sent to people claiming that he is exclusive only to Bottom Shelf and that you can't do a cover with Ito is there's a lot of times that has happened. And from what I hear, That could be changing, and if that is the case, I commend Annabelle and Ito on this. You don't want to work for a retailer that is going to hurt your reputation this bad. And I find it very interesting that, one of the things that's happening now is his print run is being called, the print runs that he puts out are being called into question. And that has been
the guy's a con artist. Listen, what I've found now is that these crash outs, when there were some real ones early on, and what people saw was that the sales happened. They weren't really that far from, they either made money on it or they weren't far from making money on it. So this was all done for theater, and it continues now because they're getting the largest amount of people in their shows to watch them crash out. This is a fucking con now. So, and who allows them to continue to do this? Not eBay.
Yeah.
This is my problem. Why I still haven't done a show on Whatnot, because they cannot corral the Wild West. They haven't put sheriffs in. They haven't done anything to stop this.
I think the problem isn't necessarily Whatnot saying, "Hey, we don't want this guy to be here." He's got to break a rule. He did some pretty heinous stuff over at eBay to cause him to get kicked off of eBay Live, I won't say anything because it's not my place, but with Whatnot, and this happened with Epic Nation, they have to follow certain rules to kick the guy off. Now, we all believe that he shouldn't be on there. I can
guarantee you they can kick off anybody they want, anytime they want.
You think so?
I guarantee you there is loopholes. They're too big of a corporation to let one person burn their whole place down because they fall within the rules, but do something like that's shitty for their reputation. But obviously, nothing seems to be shitty for their reputation.
Yeah. Well, what I find interesting about this, and the reason I bring this up is because of the crash out stuff. Emmett, I agree with you. I think that the crash out stuff does bring in new eyes, but I don't think that that's good for you. I don't think that people they think, oh, any publicity is good publicity. I don't think that's the case anymore. And I wouldn't be surprised. I already know that all these videos have been sent to Vault Comics. I believe Vault actually made a statement or put out a post about this, which is also very interesting. The
Vault charging $9.99 for the free Comic Book Day comic reprint.
The industry or not, the internet lasts forever, and you can think that you can do these things on Whatnot, and as long as you don't have your clips up, they're not going to be replayed. People are watching, and now they're really watching. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if we hear this guy has a brand change. Now, here's what's funny about this. A lot of the things that I heard when I first started hearing or smelling the stench of disgust from other retailers talking about bottom shelf comics was the guy used to brag about how much money he's lost, not made, bragging about losing, thousands and thousands of dollars and how he's in it for the long haul. And it's like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, do you want to continue losing money? So it's very interesting to see this play out, but I want to ask the retailers here. Do you guys think that this wouldn't be possible, and if this was done 20 years ago? How did this type of stuff happen 20 years ago, where you would hear something like this and the community would push out somebody? Because I feel like social media allows this to happen. Jesse, if you don't mind, would it only be at conventions where you would trade stories, or?
No, I think when it comes to retailer, I think the important thing here is this is a online retailer versus a retailer, and the retailer world is a very small, tiny group that is in groups of groups of groups. We're not one massive group that we hit. Hey, Avengers is awesome, and I hit a button and all 1,500 stores get that email. right? So we have our pockets. And, for me, I'm not in any groups. I'm in 0 groups on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'm not in any groups. I don't really follow those patterns. I technically don't know what's going on. But you will get emails from other retailers in your region to say, hey, I know you do business with Image. This person is doing XYZ. And your job is to make a decision that is best for your brand and your customer base and how much time you actually spend on that information given to you. So in this case, listen, I don't sell on Whatnot. I don't know the guy. So he's not material to me at all. So, but he might be material to a buddy who might be doing work with him. And obviously, after watching this, I will let him know and make that conscious decision himself. So, this is always an interesting topic. Our job is not to police the community, our job is to help the community when we can.
What do you think about this, Sean?
Okay.
Epic Nation had people in his chat championing him and giving him money until the very moment he was kicked off. So sadly, somebody made a comment on one of the comments on one of the posts I saw. It's like all you, maybe it was actually Troll said it, but basically all you simps and guys in there that are still, cheering for this guy and he's so great. Like, I don't know. It's the internet has made the world a much smaller place, right? So people that would get away with this stuff before, you're called out by people, and you can be driven out of an industry by doing certain stupid shit. Like Epic is a good example. So I think this guy signed his own. I never heard of the dude until this. People say he's been doing scammy shit for years. I never heard of the guy. But it kind of begs the question, if he's been doing this for years, why is he just now, because he crashed on Whatnot in public? I mean, if he's been saying crap about people for years, why are people still buying from this guy? It just blows my mind.
Because hate sells.
Rye just dropped a $5 super chat saying, Will and Mayhew are planning a business partnership. LOL. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, look at Comicsgate, man. How big that got, how big their Indiegogo's were and stuff. Hate sells. It really does.
I don't know, man.
I mean, there's a lot of sad, angry people who have no place to go, and that becomes their community.
I will tell you, but you also have people that aren't educated on this. A lot of people just come from work and they buy stuff.
Right.
And they don't know the history of someone.
Well, I think the biggest problem to me is taking advantage of not only your customers and other retailers, but the artists. And this guy has been known to take advantage of artists. I've talked to so many artists.
Yeah. That's each person's responsibility. If you get taken advantage of, don't get taken advantage of twice in a row. I mean,
okay.
I mean,
people get taken advantage of every day. I mean, and some people gladly get taken advantage of.
I mean, that was great advice that Toll gave artists. Don't send high reses till you're paid. That's just good common sense advice, right? But the amount of people that won't pay you for work, it's like in this industry, 1%. Like almost everybody pays people for their covers. Like every once in a while you hear a story about somebody didn't pay or they're paying cheap rates or something.
And then there's probably a story about it, right? There's probably two sides and the truth.
Yeah, for sure. But the majority of people, I mean, I have people just send me high reses all the time, and I'm like, here's a high res, you good? Got it. Send me an invoice. I've even had artists had to bump me. Bro, you forgot the invoice. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But everyone gets paid. Like, and most people are the same way. Like most people they pay for their work. Otherwise, the industry would be in shambles. The majority of people pay.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. I think it's important to talk about it so people don't get, like Brad Selden says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, won't get fooled again, shame on
Yeah.
me. And the thing is about that is nobody will know unless people talk about it. So I love the fact that we're able to talk about it. I love the fact that we're able to, immediately get onto social media or to make a piece of content saying, hey, this is what happened to me. And more than ever, creators and retailers are able to talk about this stuff and let people know. And again, I implore the artists and the creators out there to talk about this more. I know, like, a lot of people think, like, I'm just not going to say anything. It's probably better if I don't say anything. There's ways to say it so you let people know. And more creators need to be told about retailers like this or anybody that takes advantage of the creators out there. I've heard of this guy recreating not only Andy Dusso's art, right, and not paying Andy Dusso, but recreating other artists' art, and trademarked art and selling it as cards and stuff like that. He's done that multiple times. This guy has called publishers and retailers to complain about publishers and artists to complain about retailers that they're working with, saying that they've stolen ideas from them, and it's known that the said stolen ideas were like, not stolen. Like, it's very interesting how this all plays out, and the amount of stories behind the scenes that I can't talk about would blow you guys away. So we're obviously going to talk about it more on Drama Alert and I'm sure tomorrow night at some point. But for the industry show, I find it very interesting, and I hope that the retailers and out there will police their own. That's what I hope. That's why I love hockey so much, because not as much as back in the day, but in the world of hockey, players police their own because they can fucking drop the mitts and throw some punches. You do something that is out of line, you're going to get punched in the mouth playing hockey. And they police their own that way. You don't have to create rules that way. So shout out to Greg Huddlehop, who says, called and sent voice text claiming Ito was his and publishers shouldn't use him for exclusive covers. Unbelievable. Let me read this again. And this is for Annabelle and Ito. This guy at Bottom Shelf was contacting publishers saying, you're not allowed to use Ito because I have him exclusively. How bad does that hurt Ito's reputation in the art world for comics?
Yep. So, Sean had talked about getting paid. I want to thank Maria, who just left. She ended up buying 317 books from me. So I appreciate it. She'll have all those on Whatnot. That's about being a retailer. 10:43, 8 p.m. at night, doing a live show, selling comics at the same time, which is the most important part about this show, about retailers selling shit and not worrying about this other stuff. So retailers, if you have the opportunity to sell stuff to your customers, take care of them. Don't get them stuck in this, whatever we were just talking about. I know that's important to some of you guys, but what's important about the industry of comic book shows is selling stuff in the retail shop, or what Sean does on his live stream shows. That's the more important thing. Take care of your company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just wish guys like this would go away. I'm glad people call him out. Troll's video was fantastic. I mean, Troll needs a lot of credit for going above and beyond, because really he had nothing to do with this. He just took it upon himself to contact Skybound, find out the real deal, stick up for this dude.
Makes for really good content, though.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, very good content.
But like, we can pat a lot of people on the backs and they're good, but like when there's content involved and there's clicks involved and there's reputation involved, we're all not doing it for nothing.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I mean, it is good content. But I really think, from what I don't know Troll that well yet, but it just seems like he wanted to help do the right thing with this.
I'll double down on what Sean says. Yeah, I'm 100% agree with you. I don't care if it's for content or not. I think the more information we get out there. Now, listen, the court
Two
of
things
public,
can be true.
the court,
Two things can be true.
True.
It can be true that he is doing a good thing and he's getting great content out of it. Both can absolutely be true.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
so
doesn't
I
make it
don't think there's-
nefarious that he's getting good content out of it.
Right. Well, I think you can do both. I
Yeah.
don't think that's an issue.
So I just like the fact that you see a community coming together. Especially like Troll said, JC Troll said, when a guy like Clutch is making a post about this, Clutch is the guy furthest from getting involved into the drama stuff. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yep.
He is not that type of person. But when a person like that gets involved, there's a problem. And yeah, shout out to Comic Dunes. He says, isn't this bottom shelf guy a real estate agent? I don't trust him to sell comics. I would never buy a house from him. I don't know what he does for his regular business. I just know the comics business. And, it's sad that he had the ability to get, an artist like Ito to do comics for him and acted the way he did. And hurting multiple creators' careers in the process, which is horrible. So very interesting. The crash out is continuing. I'm sure we'll hear more information about this as time goes by. It's just one after the other. This is something very interesting that I want to show you guys, especially for anybody out there that has brick and mortar shops out there. Have you guys heard about this? There we go.
To know exactly what you own. With Toysy, just scan any Hot Wheels. It shows you its real market value based on live data plus insights like buy, hold, sell recommendations. It even tells you the potential grading score, rarity, and more. You should definitely try Toysy.
You guys ever heard of this app?
Yeah, we use it at the store. It's fantastic.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. This should
Especially
be
on the
something.
loose stuff.
Yeah, any retailer, if this stuff works, Jesse, I think this is something that every retailer, just like every retailer should have a cover price account, a key collector account. They need to have, if this works, they need to have an account for this thing.
Yeah. What's funny is I had this gentleman come in 2 weeks ago, older gentleman in his 70s, and he's like, "You have Hot Wheels?" I go, "Yeah." Bigger beard than Emmett there. And
No, say it isn't so.
Yeah, exactly. So he's looking around and he's like, "You should use this app." I go, "Okay." So he gives me the app. I download it and I start scanning everything. And then you should check out my page. And it's called Ghost Jerky. And so he left. And I'm like, there is no way I'm pulling up Ghost Jerky on the internet. Right? So I tell Austin, he goes, "Well, he sounds pretty serious. Let's go incognito." And sure enough, he has over 700,000 followers, and he's this Hot Wheel expert, and that's the only app he uses for everything. So it is a very, very good app, especially for loose cars. It lets you know if it's the variant, which is very tough. Hot Wheels are so hard to learn. It's freaking crazy.
Especially now that they added an extra treasure hunt.
Yeah.
So treasure hunts aren't that valuable anymore because they make more of them. But so they made a special treasure hunt, which is even harder to figure out.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
No, I do not use Comic Snap. I'm not familiar with that, Greg.
What is Comic Snap? Let's take a look.
I think these apps are just going to keep getting more and more prevalent, especially with AI making them easier and easier to make.
You can build them.
Oh, yeah, by far.
Comic Snap has moved to True Comics. Okay, let's go take a look. True Comics. Track, grade, and price. Yeah, track, grade, and price your comic collection. So that's one of the things that I liked about the Toysy thing is that you can actually use it for your collection and that's what I love about like Cover Price and Key Collectors, that you could put your collection in there, see what what's going up and what's going down. Yeah. Yep. So it looks like this does the same type of thing. The True Comics Marketplace is launching July 1st, 2026. So it's getting ready to launch. Your collection stays in sync across every device, built for collectors. So
It
you know,
doesn't Shortbox do this and CLZ and
CLZ,
Yeah.
and
do they have a marketplace
so
though?
many,
But aren't there a
so
bunch of
many of
apps
them.
like this that have a
Yeah,
marketplace and they get a
yeah,
cut of it? And at
yeah.
this point, it just feels like white label. It's just cut and paste.
I actually like the one that Diamond had made. It didn't have any reason to go there. Like, I thought that was kind of their failure. So
Comic
Key
Price Check.
Collector has all those things that makes you go there every day. There's
Right.
always updates and price
Sure.
updates. Whereas, I thought it was way more complete. I mean, Key Collector has added a lot of the stuff they didn't have before. But the what was it? Access, Overstreet Access.
Yeah, Overstreet Access. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a good it's gone, I think, because it doesn't
No,
work
it's
on my
gone.
phone.
Yeah.
It's gone. Yeah, I
Yep,
don't
it
know who ended up owning that, but it was a pretty good program.
Yeah. Usually what happens is it's someone who doesn't get what they want from Key Collectors who says, well, what if I do this?
Yep.
And then they go out and make this app. And the next person's going to say, all right, missing this on Key. This guy's missing this. So what if I add this?
Those two things, yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah,
But I think Key Collector's probably the market leader.
Well, I'll say this.
And the other one that you use, was it Cover Price?
Yeah, if Cover Price does finally get their app version out, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I think those two, though, Cover Price and Key Collector, are just something that every comic collector should add to their tool belt, or retailer or whatever. If you're into comics,
Right.
add those to your tool belt.
Right. It's great to find the keys, but I wouldn't recommend pricing your books by them.
Right. Well, and Emmett, you know this is true, right? How many people still come in with their notepad and their sheets of paper and their pencil, and they're like,
Oh, yeah.
check,
Yep.
check.
Yep.
So there's something for everybody.
Absolutely.
This was another interesting thing that I saw pop up. I haven't looked into prices for NYC, but this was or New York Comic Con. This was from Nick GQ.
You see, this is sad. This is sad. So I've been saying this for many years. I am listen. You know who I am. It's been 20 years. 20 years ago, we started New York Comic Con at Jacob Javits Center. It's going to be 20 years this 2026, as a matter of fact. And these prices are sickening. Almost $100 now every single day. For what? It's not even a Comic Con anymore. It's a cosplay convention. I think it was down to two or three rows of comic book vendors for the past 2 years. I know myself and other very big names in comic books stopped setting up. The pricing is disgusting for vendors. Listen, I've been saying this for many years, and I think it's time. If you guys are comic book sellers in the tri-state area, you don't even have to be in the tri-state area. I'll get you hotel discounts. You all know that I could do it. Let's counter the show. You know I have massive connections at my nightclubs and mega facilities. You know I have the connections at the hotels. We counter the show. We do a $10 or $20 ticket for admission. And each and every one of you put down $300. That's all I know that I'm going to need from each and every single one of you. $300. You can have a nice big 10 by 10 section with that. We all get together. We counter the show. And I'm telling you, on top of that, with the P&L statements, everybody also is a partner. So it's not just me or someone else running the show. If you guys all contribute, and I'm telling you, I could lock down, I'm talking facilities. You know who I am. You guys know what I do. You'll all be contributing partners. And we actually give New York City a real comic book convention for comic book collectors.
I think we're all turning red, biting our tongues over here.
The question is, do you guys think that the big cons, New York and San Diego, are no longer comic conventions anymore? Do you think?
So
go
first,
Sean.
First I want to hear these guys react to the video first. So I want to hear Emmett and Jesse first.
Okay. So first of all, I'll go first because I was expecting this big Amway video to come up. Because if we all put in $300, we all are going to get the money, because I'm going to show you all the PL sheet, because you all know who I am.
I'll be right
and I
back.
can get discounts at these hotels and these casinos and nightclubs. All right. That's the first problem. The first problem is New York Comic Con isn't expensive for people that want to go and can afford it. And that's why it sells out. If you can't afford it, then you just can't afford it. You think doing another convention at the same weekend is going to be affordable?
You still can afford hotels.
Yeah. Do you think those? I'll give you a table for $100. Yeah, that table is going to be about 3 inches and 4 inches wide. Okay. Right. There you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
We're live.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, we were talking so much shit about you. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
it's great. Yeah. Yeah. That's why the 4 inches came up. I mean, what the hell? Yeah.
Oh man, I don't even know what to say now. I said nothing but shit about Brian.
Yeah, exactly. So the object of the story, to go with the gentleman who wants to do a convention the same weekend against New York Comic Con because it's too expensive, is going to realize that his goals and what he wants to charge is not feasible. It's totally impossible to do it. If you add insurance, if you add the deposit, it doesn't even make sense. Now, the only way it makes sense is if the gentleman is willing to lose about $200,000 to $300,000 his first year. That's the only way it makes sense. And that is not making up a number. I know how to run a convention. I know how to run a convention that has 150,000 people. So I know the numbers. And so just your security that you would have to have, EMT, all these people that have to be present. And you're going against the big boy. And
It'd have to be a separate weekend, but the next weekend after New York is almost always Baltimore, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's already a big con right after New York, and it's not far.
Baltimore moved to be in front of New York. I think they moved back to September.
Oh, that's
at least last year they moved to September. Let me check.
Let me check. Yeah.
But the notion is, it doesn't matter what month it is. You can't charge people. If someone's paying $100 for a table in New York, it's not possible. It's just
$300 a table. What? Hold on. What do you mean?
So I think
didn't he say? He said
300.
300. He said everybody that wants to be at the con, put in $300 for your table for a 10 by 10, and we'll do a comic con at the same time.
Sure.
Which the question that I wanted to ask about was twofold. One, do you think that New York City and San Diego are no longer Comic Cons, which has been an age-old question for ever since Twilight got involved, right? The year of Twilight.
Yeah.
But more importantly, do you think that you can set up a con at the same time as New York and San Diego and do like, it could be considered almost like a second, like another hall, or do you think it's just pointless at that time, at that situation?
I'll finish up and then let these two guys get going. So we've seen it at first of all, comic convention, New York Comic Con. Trust me, there's enough comics there to be a comic convention. San Diego Comic Con, trust me, there's enough comics there to be a convention. If every table was comics, people would be saying there's too many comics there. So you need the variety. You need the variety for the family. You need the variety for your partner who's not into comics to go look at cosplayers or whatever it is and be entertained. Some of the times you pay money is to be entertained. You don't pay money always to buy. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, look what's happened in San Diego Comic Con. You don't even have to go into the con to be entertained because look at everything going outside the Comic Con across the street.
Yeah.
And that's free.
In bars, in hotel, like all over the place.
That's the thing that impressed me the most.
Yep.
Well, this is the reason why I said that, because Nelson says at Nick GQ, why don't you start up the convention again across the street from MSG that was in the Penta Hotel? And that was the thing that was interesting to me. Like, if you could get it close enough to the con to where, and this could be something interesting, like not only like for his reason where he says, oh, we want it to be a New York Comic Con comic centric again, but also just like, hey, you can't afford a table at the con, we're going to set up something across the street. So, all these people that are in town for the con can come over, if that makes sense. But I don't know if you could get a hotel or a facility close enough at that time to even matter,
Yeah, and
it'd have to be around New York, not in New York, because it's already sucked up enough time with or the hotel's already taken up for the con. We already stay across the river, because we can't afford to stay there in New York. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
So I don't care who money's money. No one's going to give you a cheap hotel lobby and give you a bunch of discount rooms when they're charging peak capacity. Even Airbnb is crazy.
So you stayed over in Weehawken?
I don't know. I think we stay in Jersey somewhere. I don't know where the hell we stay.
Yeah, and you took the ferry over?
No, actually, we just drive under the bridge or some shit.
Oh, fuck that.
Or Ubers are expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
I do
take
have
the ferry next time. You're right there at the ferry if you're in Jersey.
I do have some breaking news though. And this is kind of interesting. We brought comic book drama alert to the industry of comics. Epic Nation has been arrested on 7 counts of, I don't know what they are, but Bali Ramakassoon looks like 7 charges here. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 charges
on
in
3
New
different
York?
dates.
Yeah.
If you click on the case number, will it tell you?
This is coming. Here we go. Let's see what he says.
You know who's gonna get it? You know who's gonna get it and got it? Baliram Ramkisson, aka Epic Nation. Who's gonna get it? 7 counts, arraigned, grand larceny, petty larceny, and check fraud, I believe. Oops. I think Nick GQ might have been right all along. Who's gonna get it?
Yeah.
So there we go.
I can't find that post. Is that under Hell Destroyer or under Sean's?
It'd probably be under. Let's see here. Hell Destroyer.
Sean
Comics.
Peak.
Sean Peck. Yeah. And it looks like.
Is it a short? It must
I
be
don't
a
know.
short or something.
He just sent it. It was in my messages. So, let's see here. Is this it?
Guys,
No, maybe it was just in my message. So there we go. But very interesting. Awesome. Yeah, that's what we need to see. We want to see that, And again, this goes back to the whole calling out the fucking frauds, calling out the people who are the cancers. When there's proof and there is that many people that are bringing up, the same type of stories. It's very interesting to see. And isn't it funny that I get that information when we're doing a story of Nick GQ, right? And Nick GQ was the guy that ever since day one was saying the Epic Nation was a scammer and a fraud and a thief. And here it is, breaking news. He is been charged. So I don't know if that
Good.
matters. I think what ultimately matters is that we see him actually, do time or probation or some type of.
All I can imagine is him standing in front of a judge talking in that super fast, ridiculous accent that he fakes half the time, where you can't understand him. I'm going to go to like I'm going to sound racist as shit if I try to do it, so I'm not going to do it.
No.
But I can imagine his voice trying to explain everything, and judges going like, "I need a translator. I can't understand this guy."
Yeah, absolutely crazy. So very funny. Not funny. I won't say funny, but it is definitely karma. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
well, if that other shithead that we were just talking about, bottom shelf, if he's doing scammy shit too, he's not going to get arrested. But the community needs to just come together and, troll and these other guys that are making, whether it's for content or doing the right thing, or like Emma said, both things can be true, right?
Yep.
It's letting the community know. Like, I love the comic community because maybe it's just me, but it seems lately that people have been coming together to hold the shitheads accountable at a much higher level than they have in the past.
Yes.
Yes. For
I
sure.
agree.
Before, it seemed like when I was first coming up doing this stuff, it was more just about haters. And everybody's jealous of everybody. Everybody just wanted to hate on each other. And this guy sucks. Why? Because he's successful, so I'm jealous. I got a lot of that stuff. And then now it just seems like, hey, look, I want you to be successful. I want everybody to make a ton of money. But if you're a piece of crap in this industry, and you know what I think it started with, now that I think about it, it really started coming around with when all the tidal wave shit was hitting big time. That's when it really, in my opinion, when I really saw people coming together and saying, look, this is not cool. You shouldn't do this. Artists are getting work denied from publishers from doing this stuff. And people just started, especially here, you would do it, Brian. You would like pull up Drama Alert. Here's another cover. Here we go again with more crappy tidal wave, stolen IP type of shit. And it really kind of like, I don't want to say shamed, but it made people second think about doing one of those covers. I mean, they're still out there, obviously. Some people just don't care. A buck's a buck. They don't give a shit.
Well, that's
I gotta feed my family. Okay,
well, I gotta
do it
be
the right
honest, and I've talked to all you guys about this. I was very scared that we're seeing this huge jump in sales, because of Absolute Batman, and we're getting 100 retailer exclusive variants for Absolute Batman 20, 120 retailer exclusive variants for Absolute Batman 21. Absolute Batman number 22 is probably going to have a crazy amount of numbers, and it got me really, really worried that we were going to see this huge influx of people either biting off more than they could chew, or there's so much money coming into the thing that the scammers are going to jump back in heavily. And I think that that was my biggest fear. Now, I don't know, is that going to happen still? I don't know. I hope not. I feel like, as long as we realize we talked about it on the show quite a bit over the past couple of years, and Sean, one of the biggest things that always makes me think about this is you talking about those loans that a lot of retailers can get involved in, through this game, through Shopify or Square or,
or eBay. Dude, we started going live doing eBay live stuff, and we're doing about, not a ton of money. Well, okay, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but we're doing about 2,000 a day on eBay live. Not a ton compared to what we do, right? But they're already trying to throw money at us. You qualify for an eBay working capital loan, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, Square is trying to give me money. Shopify, eBay, Intuit, because we do QuickBooks. They see our money go through Intuit, so they want to try to give us loans. It's ridiculous. I get spam calls every day. That's exactly what buried Frankie's.
Mhm.
When we go back and look at those legal court filings for Frankie's, he had 2 different working capital loans for over $100K each. Bro, and now Shopify is offering credit too. So Shopify credit and capital, you max those out, you're looking at a 27% remittance of your daily take. No business can operate at a 27% loss at the razor thin margins we already have in this industry. You're
Yeah.
going to kill you. You're constantly chase to pay that loan off, to get another loan, to pay that loan off, to get another loan, to pay that loan off, to get another loan. And you're going to work yourself to your 85 years old, and you're going to die leaving your family with a ton of debt.
Yeah. If you're capable to get a loan from any of these sharks, you can get it from the SBA. You just
It's a
show
little
the
more work,
SBA.
but you can.
Yeah. And it's 3 to 5%.
Yeah, it's great. But the problem is but it's so easy. It's convenient. People are lazy. Remember, people are lazy and people are stupid. Right? Convenience. Oh, I can just click 3 buttons in Shopify and then have I can
30
literally
seconds.
right now go into my
30
Shopify.
seconds.
Yeah, I could click. It takes not like just not even a minute.
Yep.
If I need my EIN and it's already saved. It says confirm your EIN, confirm your shipping address. Within 48 hours, I could have $120,000 in my bank account.
Yep.
Well, Square,
just like that.
Square just keeps track of what I'm making, and they just every week it's a different amount.
Right.
Yeah, it fluctuates up or down based on your sales.
Yeah,
God, it's
SBAs could take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and people just, oh, I don't want to spend 2-3 weeks when I can do it in a minute. So, at the end of the day, every business has to run its business, and there are going to make some errors, and hopefully they learn from it. You got to keep in mind, a retailer does not have a financial agent standing right behind them, or a financial counselor standing right behind them on every single move they make about their business. And that could come down to USPS making a deal. We made a deal last week to reduce our rates, right? Well, I had to do that, and it took me 3 days to get my rates lower. That's a lot of time versus just pressing a button and saying, well, eBay Array calculates it for me. Do I really want to save 33 cents a package?
Well,
Nah,
let's
I'll
talk
just
about
press
that
button.
because listen, all this stuff is just another thing that steals more time from comic shop owners, and
Right.
time is the most valuable thing. There are things there, and it changes, right, Jesse? I mean, you're kind of
Yep.
going through that right now. You
Yep.
recently started a new shop. You've decided, okay, I've got to remodel. I've got to change some things I'm doing, and you're finding yourself, hey, I don't have as much time as I used to spend doing this. Now I need to pivot and take time away from this, and that is very important in the life of a retailer, life of everybody. How important our time is.
Yes, correct. We were just talking about how during this show, Maria, who's a great customer of mine, bought 317 items while I was doing the show. And every time I looked over, she'd go like this. In other words, I don't want to interrupt you on your show. So, yes, she bought 317 items. If I wasn't doing this show, how many items could I have sold her? She literally rung up the cell by herself because she didn't want to interrupt me. And so when you're looking at your retail store at 10:53, obviously most stores aren't going to stay open at 10:53. Good customers, so I don't mind it, and I'm here. But we are in a business retail world where we're pivoting beyond the door now. You used to pivot within your door. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change this. I'm going to order this. And this is then go here. And we're then do anime. And we're then put NASCAR over here. Now we're saying, I have a huge base in Wyoming, Montana, that loves to buy NASCAR for me. So now we're building that web page based on demographics. We're basing it on regions and how we promote that to that region. That takes time. And when you start looking at time and you start to say, where can I grab that time back so I can use more time management to push forward with my brand? And that's the challenges we face. Some of us, me and Sean are, Emmett's getting in the live stream world here soon, but we face that almost on an hour basis sometimes, right? Sean was telling us a story that someone recognized him, and what did he do? He changed the pattern of the show because of it and added a whole bunch of XYZs in that short period of time. He had to pivot that show, and he increased his sales. So
Sales,
yeah.
So, let's talk about this a little bit because you do have the live selling stuff available for you, and we've talked about many times that a lot of us feel that if you're a brick and mortar comic shop owner, that it would probably benefit you to take a little bit of time to start doing live selling auctions. And we're seeing that right now with Emmett. Emmett's now getting involved in eBay Live. I believe you did your first eBay Live show the other day.
Yeah, failed, but yeah.
So thinking about that time aspect, have you figured out, okay, I'm just going to do it on the fly, or have you set aside, okay, I'm going to take time away from this to do this?
Oh yeah. So there's going to be plenty of time away. So Sundays is usually my one day off. I usually go in and check on the shop, see if a collection comes in, they call me to come down. I'm only 2 blocks away. So, but so now Sundays I'm going to be selling, and Mondays is a day we usually clean the store, and I'm going to be doing 3 to 4 hours on a Monday. That 3 to 4 hours may be 2 different shows because I have a lot of different SKUs. And then, we're looking for what third day, maybe Friday nights. I don't have anything going on Friday nights, so I might do from when the store closes at 8, so maybe do an 8:30 to 10:30 show. So,
and then just doing cards though, right?
No, I'm doing comics, cards,
okay,
die cast, vinyls, and possibly fashion.
All in one show?
No.
Okay.
All separate shows. And that's only because I wouldn't mix it up, but it's the shipping. The way that they have the shipping, you have to set it for each show. And because I can't ship clothes or vinyls the way I ship a comic, well, comics and vinyls will probably be close, but vinyl I can send media mail. I can't send comics media mail. So, and then clothes has
just cut
different
out
weights.
all the ads before you ship it. They won't mind.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, you're talking about the time spent to do the sales, but now you got to set aside even more time to do the shipping.
Yeah.
Which
I'm going to be hiring somebody. The problem is that the shipping is so important. If you hire somebody and they fuck it up, and I'm brand new at eBay and it's fucked up, so I'm going to have to be there anyway until I can trust that person. So, should I do it myself? Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you, bro, to get into the streaming side of things. I just looked at some of my numbers because I was curious, right? This is the difference streaming makes, right? So we're at almost 500,000 on my website for the year so far. That's gross, right?
Yep.
It's definitely not net. It's just gross, right? Yeah. Right. On my smallest Whatnot channel, we're at 282,000 for the year. So we're almost half. If I combined all 4 of my Whatnot channels together, we're going to be double what my website's at. We're probably already at 1 million for the year. So, the way I see it is like this, and I'm sure Jesse can attest to this. Streaming is just a constant flow of money into your store.
Yeah.
If I could stream on eBay or Whatnot for 10 hours, I'm going to consistently make money for 10 hours. No matter, even if I look at how much I'm paying my employee, plus the shipping cost, plus extra, let's say you need extra space for shipping, so that's an increase in rent possibly. It's all worth it to stream.
Yeah.
Is it a fuck ton more work, bro? You already know, man. You've been doing
Yeah,
this
yeah.
longer than me. The shipping setup, you're already on point, bro. You already know shipping's
Yeah,
most important. Blah blah blah.
yeah,
That's why
it's
Jesse ships till
gonna be
5
a
in the
lot.
morning.
I'm going to try to raise $1 million in the next 2 years because I want to buy a building, whether it's the building I'm in now or another building, and I want to buy it. I don't want to have to pay a mortgage on it. I want to own it outright and just pay taxes every year. So,
That's a dream. I hope you
yep,
can do that, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, it's so it's a mindset. You have to have a mindset. It's tough,
yeah,
if you're doing your live stream and I'm doing a 5-hour show, and sometimes Austin is off the next day or Shannon's working, so I'm doing that shipping. So you're doing a 5-hour show to ship for 5 hours. So that's 10 hours there
yeah, oh yeah,
that has consumed you. But I also own a retail store.
yeah,
So yes, we have the chime on in the door. I'm in back shipping, and the second that chime goes off, I have to change my attitude. I have to change everything and go
yep,
into sell mode. Right?
yep,
Hey, what's going on? Boom, 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 and then make sure I come back in the same exact spot I left at, and not just assume, oh, I think I left here. No, no, no,
yeah,
no, no. This is You're now treating another customer. You sold that customer, he left. Now you're back to this customer.
right,
And no sell is complete until they get their product.
right. And I want to clear $2,000 a week.
So were you saying that your show wasn't successful because you didn't hit the dollar amount, or it wasn't successful just because you're still learning?
Our internet pooped out and it wasn't good enough and it would not connect. So I couldn't run it. So we have them coming tomorrow to put in new internet so that I could have my first show by the end of the week.
Okay.
There we go.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, that's very important. So, but that being said, we got an announcement. Unfortunately, because of all this time, Jesse is going to be taking a step back from the show and not doing every show every week. And that is something that is very important for a comic book retailer, is your time management. You have to figure out, hey, this is what I need, and this is what I don't need right now. These are the important things. So
Right. I think what happens when you've helped create a awesome gathering of friends and community over the last 2 years, you also realize it's time to refocus on your community and the people that surround you, and whether it be Shannon making sure I'm taking her to dinner and we're going to see a movie, and those little things that might not sound very important, but for a retailer it is extremely important. We spend the whole day servicing people, not only in the store but worldwide, nationwide, doing live streaming and social marketing and all that you have to step back and you have to look at your time. So I'm technically not leaving the show. I'm going to stay as a counselor with Brian to talk about topics that could come on the show. If there's a topic that I'm needed to come on, I definitely will come on because of my expertise and what I've achieved and what I failed at over the year. So I'm very excited about my future. I've known you three guys forever. And so we're not really doing anything different than me just not being on the screen. You youngins can continue to grow this brand, this channel like no tomorrow. The numbers are awesome. The community is awesome. And, we love talking to you beyond where we're talking to you now, whether it be on Facebook at conventions or in the comic book store itself. So this is a great time for me to expand and pivot my business. And all businesses come to a point where they realize the next step takes more of your personal time, and you have to find where that time comes from. So I've had a blast the last 2 years, bringing on guests, listening to guests, talking about sizzlers and spam and watching Sean's face go crazy when I mentioned those. But no, it's been good stuff, and we'll continue to grow, and we'll continue to pivot, and we'll continue to watch this show do the same thing.
Amen. Amen.
Yep.
All right, you guys got anything coming up this week for the shops that people should know about? Emmett?
Keep an eye out for, if you're on eBay Live, if my show will come on at some point. I'll send out an Instagram, Yeah, it's going to be my show's it's not going to be very exciting. It's going to be very chill. We'll talk about the interiors. We'll talk about the artists. We'll, at some point, sell a book. I'm going to be doing a lot of sex.
Exciting promo in history. We are clipping that. And I'm going to put on like some Joe Rogan promo clip of how to sell my ebook. Come join me, because now it's kind of going to be boring, and check it out, because we might actually kind of sell something.
Yeah, maybe we might sell a few things. I'm going to have a lot of sets. Like if you like to read, like if you missed out 1 through 6s, like your favorite characters in the 90s, 2000s, I've got a fuck ton of sets, and I'm going to have those. I'm also going to have the Mighty Mel V collection is going to be in the sales all until it's gone. So there'll be a lot of that. And, Mel V had great taste. So there's a lot of those books. I found like 50 first cover appearances of Tosin, Black Panther's son. He was first appeared on the second print of issue number 3. And he's got like, I don't know, 50, 100, I don't know, a lot. And there's a lot of books like that. So there's tons and tons of stuff. And I know Music Pub's in the thing. There is so much Scotty Young stuff. I just started unearthing it. There's like so much Scotty Young stuff.
Hell yeah.
So it'll be fun, but it's not going to be like 10-second sudden death.
Yeah,
it's going to be an old guy show.
Yeah, your communication with your new group of buyers is going to be very important. They need to know more about you than probably even the comic book you're showing.
Right. Yeah, one of the things I'm going to do is I like everybody told me, say, "Oh, you have so many books. Make sure you have access to those books, and when somebody asks for something, run and go get it." I'm not doing that. It'll be go to my Instagram, DM me, and come to my next show. I'll have it then if I have it. I'm an old man. I'm not going to be running around my store. If you want a particular issue, you could always come to the store.
Are all the comics right behind you on that wall?
Not all. No,
I'm joking with you.
I know. And I've heard that if you have like expensive books behind you, people will go, "Hey, run that." Sean was telling me that. Yeah, that might be. I do have a wall behind me, but I don't know if the camera will catch it. We'll see.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised, man.
It'll take me a little bit to
get your 50th show.
Wet. Yeah.
50 shows, and then you'll know about 10% of what you're doing.
You're gonna have a blast, man.
I believe you.
It's fun. I enjoy streaming a ton because it's relaxing to me. I get to hang out with people. I get to talk comics. I have like almost, it's gonna sound weird, but Jesse knows what I mean. There's people that show up in my chats. I literally have never met them, and I consider them like friends because I don't even know what they look like. I don't know their real name. Like, if I come up to me at a con and they're like, "I'm this guy," and this happened to me. They come up and they're like, "Oh, I'm this guy from your streams," and I'm like, "We're like, dude, like, hey, everybody come here, this guy." We're like, "Hey."
Right. And the funny part, Sean will say this, they won't say, "Hey, I'm Brian McClay." They'll say, "I'm BC Nation 46. And you're like, "Oh, BC Nation 46. I don't know your
Actually,
name, but
what I've found is that most people will come up and go, "Hi, man, I watch all the shows," and won't say anything. Like, "Oh, what's your name?" So,
yeah, that happens too.
Yeah, and you've never seen them in the chat.
Yeah.
Right. They just watch. There's
No,
well,
no,
we
no.
know how many people watch the show and how many people are in the chat. Well, sometimes there'll be 1,000 people have come in and come out, and 200 people have left chats. So
Yeah.
it's just the nature of people. Some people just want to watch. They don't need to engage.
Yeah. I
heard that's a kink. Some people like to watch, right?
Yeah, there you go. I don't know if DK 300 is still in here, but he comes in at the top of the hour every show because I play YMCA at the top of the hour, right?
Yeah.
He comes in and he goes, "Okay, I'll see you in an hour," and that's his night, right? So I think once you build your community and you understand people's buying habits, and it's you could literally have a show and show 50 items and might only sell 25, but someone comes in who literally will buy those other 25, and you're rebounding back and you're saying, "Oh, by the way, Jeff, boom, boom, boom." And it's like, sell.
The best advice I have for you, man, and I don't know how this turned into, let's give Emmett all of our advice on how to run live shows because he never sold a comic before. But whatever you plan for that show to be, it's going to be something completely different, no matter what.
That's what everybody said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're like, I'm doing this show, and it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
it's 5 minutes in. I'm so you're doing.
People are going to be very disappointed.
Yeah,
yeah.
The other thing we have going on is there's the Marvel Superhero Magic tournament.
Yeah.
The pre-release is Friday and Saturday. I am completely sold out. So if you wanted to come up and play, too bad.
Congrats.
Now,
should have called it.
They're buying to play.
Yeah, so
Okay,
they have
it's
a starter kit.
Buy. Okay, it's a starter kit. Okay.
Yeah.
How many pods are you going to have? Do you know how many pods you got set up?
So pods are for Commander. This is 1v1. So we're going to have about 32 to 36 people on Friday. And then Saturday, if we don't have all 36 and 4 sets, we'll move to Saturday, which we have 20. And the reason I could do more, I would do Sunday and then Monday too, but they don't give me enough kits. I always sell out of my kits, whether everybody comes on Friday and then the people that didn't get to come on Saturday. I still sell out of all my kits, and they keep increasing my kits and I keep selling out of them. So
that's great.
Yeah.
I thought, again, this shows my ignorance. I haven't done Magic in ages, but I thought pre-releases were mostly, I guess you can choose. Whenever I've only done like 5 pre-releases and I stopped doing Magic. We always did draft format.
They do not have that now. It's what they call sealed, which is each person gets 6 packs and they have to use those 6 pack to make at least a 40 card deck.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And they get like, those packs are seated pretty well, so they all get like a little something decent in the packs. Just so they can make a decent deck. And then, we give away stuff, and they made it now that you can sell new product on pre-release, but then you can't sell it until next Friday. Right.
What is,
but I sell out of everything those 2 nights I sell out of everything.
I used to just be able to sell like the pre-made decks, I'm talking about the little packs with
those they have packs, but no pre-made decks anymore except for Commander decks.
Yeah.
It's different. They've made it different.
What about this? Is there any of you guys that are going to be taking part in this RPG day? This is, I guess, a big deal for people that are play TCG and Dungeons and Dragons style board games and stuff.
So we have every Saturday is free RPG role playing. So we keep our tables free all Saturday morning for role playing. So we do this every Saturday.
Well, but this one's special because, do you know about this, Emmett?
Yeah, we got all the free stuff to give away.
They sent
TSR
53 pounds of stuff. Everybody that signs up for it gets 53 pounds of all kinds of cool stuff. The amount of stuff that they send is crazy, and you can see each publisher will give you probably, each one of these people sent something, whether it's card games, dice.
We didn't sign up for this. We only did the one with WotC, which is Dungeons and Dragons. As you can see, there is no WotC here or TSR, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are everybody
Marvel
else.
Multiverse
Yeah.
role-playing
Yeah.
game, Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Secret Wars expansion. So I think that's pretty interesting. WizKids. I remember
WizKids, yeah.
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 Because they
So,
make all the minifigs.
Right. Sure.
but this was people were going crazy about the amount of stuff that they were getting for free. If you're a retailer and you signed up for it, and 53 pounds of product for free is crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's June 27th. I don't know if you can still sign up for it or not. It says here, click here to get your order to order your free RPG Day kits. Yeah, they're gone. So
Out
it
of
says
stock, yeah.
free, but at $179.
It's probably the
So,
shipping.
Yeah. Yeah,
For
for
50
53
pounds, yeah.
pounds. Yeah. So pretty crazy. Pretty nuts.
That's
So,
wild.
Yeah. Jesse,
There's
you
my
got
buddy.
you got anything in the store coming up?
I got my buddy outside right now. Give me a sec.
Sean, what about you?
Just exclusives launching this week. We got a Street Fighter swimsuit special. There's a connecting cover set.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's probably on the website. Connecting cover set from that exclusive is launching. It already launched. Yep, scroll down a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
And there she is. Marissa Pope and Sora Sung connecting set. And then there's a Tristan Thompson Chung-Li also. That's tomorrow at noon, actually, pre-sales for that. Limited only 250.
And
Very
look
low
at
print
this.
run.
You got a G.I. Joe 330 Drax Gal. I'm a
Drax,
big fan of Drax Gal. He's a badass, dude.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one, man.
Yeah.
Drax hit the. Honestly, man, I like Drax a lot. He's a good dude. I've gotten a lot of exclusives from him, but sometimes his stuff just doesn't hit. This one definitely hits.
His Dead Samurai was so damn good. It was unreal.
Dude,
Have
that
you guys
blew up.
Yeah, let me show you guys this. Dead Samurai Drax Gal. I was talking about this in my eBay live sale the other night because I sold one of Drax Gal's early covers. But look how beautiful. I mean,
Yeah, John Dolmayan got that on his property, that Dead
Yeah.
Samurai.
Yeah.
It's good. And then they did a second print the
Absolutely
next week. It was Virgin, I think.
yeah, this one right here, right?
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. So
A
that's
little bit of
Drax
risque
Gal.
down there.
Yep. So
Yeah, we got subs now, so you can get in there and pre-order books from FOC if you want to. Yeah, so things are going pretty well.
I love the absolute Batman Mike Mayhew. Look at that.
Well, he doesn't need us though.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. So
He doesn't need us, but
yeah.
oh yeah, careful. There's Motley stuff.
Careful. This
It's
is
all
comic book
censored.
art. So
It's all censored.
Yeah.
All censored, but YouTube don't know.
But you guys can use promo code Beyond10 to get 10% off over
Yeah,
at
that's
Comics Elite.
Shikari did a drawn to life version of
That's
Motley.
really good. Wow.
Well, that's her on the right, and the Shikari's on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus.
nailed it.
And you sold out of those, right? Did you sell out all those?
There's still a few left of the first three covers. The more naughtier ones, of course, sold out.
So there you guys go. 10% off. Use the promo code Beyond10. Jesse.
This has been a paid sponsorship from Comics Elite.
Yeah. Shill.
Just so
Not
everybody knows.
sponsorship. Shill. So
Oh, sorry. This has been a paid shill.
yeah. So, Jesse, what about you? What do you got coming up? Anything interesting?
All right. So for the final show, we're going to let you guys know a couple things. We're halfway through remodel. We're tripling the size of anime, doubling the size of NASCAR. Comics is still 60% of the floor, but we've decided to go heavy into VHS. VHS has been really a huge market for us.
Wow.
The crazy thing about the VHS world is it's about 25 and younger that are buying it, but they don't have anything. So for us, we look at, oh, where's all the Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff? I got it. I have all that, or I had all that, right? For a youngin', they're buying all of them. And so we're seeing young couples, a lot of young couples have been buying VHS tapes for their kids. They feel the kid stuff is maybe really kid stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they can control the video a little bit better, all that stuff, whatever it is. So, anyways, VHS, we are going into electronics, so we will be selling VHS players, CD players, AM, FM radios in that corner. So we really evolved the store into a every person store, not a pawn store. I don't want people to think, oh, he's selling pawn. No, it's all collectible. It has to be classified as a collectible for us
Yep.
to sell it. Right.
Now, so you're not selling new electronics, you're selling.
No, it all has to be collectible stuff. It has to be VHS, old DVD players, right? Type stuff. So we're really staying in that collectible form where people are like, oh, you're either getting older folks that walk out crying because they're like, oh my gosh, I remember that. Or you got young folks that are like, what do you mean Motley Crue had a cassette tape? Right. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's a cassette tape. Right. And so we are doing that. So our expansion is based on our traffic in the store. Now, I will tell you what we have found out, and one of the reasons why we are moving on to this new path is one thing we never did. And it's funny, Emmett brought this up. We have expanded our brand as far as e-commerce goes on our eBay page to put everything else that comes in. So if a cassette comes in, we're putting that up. If a VHS player comes in, we're putting that up. And we went from 100% comics to now where our comics is 60%. We still have increases on that 60%, but that 40% that we are selling are stuff that you could not imagine that you would ever sell. And learning how to ship, die cast, and learning how to ship records. And someone buys a record and then they buy an action figure and then they buy 3 comics. Okay, how do you pack that? So we're learning every day. So the most exciting thing is that we're doing in 3 weeks is I am celebrating my 2000th show I've done myself. I've done 2000. This will be my 2000th live show. And I'm very excited about for someone who on that 2000 show will hit about 110,000 feedback, never having a negative, never having a neutral, shipping out 100%, doing what is necessary to be successful for the future. So that's why I'm going to end it. This is just the end of this show tonight. You will see my face on here again. Obviously, I will be talking to these folks nonstop, and most of you I talk to in the chat anyway. So it's been an honor, pleasure being on this show and rocking and rolling. And I wish you all the success as well.
There we go.
Awesome. We wish you all the success, brother. We wish you all the success. You're killing her over there. I love that you're, first off, I've been a fan of this show ever since it started. I love watching you guys' stuff. And seeing what you've been able, since you started, you've made a whole nother store on the other side of the country, right? Like since you've been doing the show, you've probably, how much more are you selling on eBay now than you were when you first started?
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't believe you stuck with it this long. So we were talking about this. So the chat kind of knows I'll throw my 2 cents in here. Let's just say that on an average stream, a seller can make, let's just go with $500 an hour on a stream. This is prime stream time for all of us. Let's just say from 9 to 1, right? 4 hours. That's $2,000 a night that myself, Jesse, soon Emmett will be giving up to do the show, right? So McClay, you also $1,000 a night. So
strippers are sad that I'm on this show because they're losing $2,000.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So when you think about that, that's $10K a month. That's almost $100K a year that really we could make instead of doing a show like this or anything, what it is. Or if we weren't doing this, let's say we were going to take a night off, that's precious time with our families and wives. We don't forget what they look like. So honestly, Jesse, like I am surprised you were able to make the commitment to this show for 2 years It just shows that, and you're not here for ego or for everybody to listen how right you are. You genuinely give a shit about the industry. You care about other sellers. I've known this about you for years. You would take my phone calls and listen to my stupid ass stories when I was first getting started, right? So you've given me tons of advice, and you've given lots of people advice in the industry all this time. So it's been awesome, just listening to you on here, and I can't wait to see what else you're doing. It's gonna be great.
Well, I'll say this. I'm not worried about it. He'll be back.
Yeah.
So like
We'll figure
Jesse
it
was saying about like other SKUs, just to give you an idea, because I buy from Clean Out People, and now I'm getting all kinds of stuff now. It's crazy. The word has gotten out that I have cash. I bought a lady's her father or grandfather's pipe collection. I know nothing about pipes. I said, I have no idea. What do you want for it? She's like, does $80 sound like too much? I'm like, no, I guess, I don't know. 80, it sounds okay to me. There's a lot. I sold one. I just mailed it out. And this is about learning stuff too. I sold one for $125 just this week. And the guy messaged me. He goes, hey, when you mail it, take the stem out, because the stem has a metal piece in it and screwed in, so it doesn't get damaged in shipping. Oh, so now I know when I ship a pipe that I have to screw the stem out. But these, they're K Woodies, K-A-Y Woody, all one word. They come in all different designs. Like the low end is $40 to $50 a piece, and the high end is 300 plus. And I had, I don't know, 35 to 50 pipes. So yeah, it's been very good.
Wow.
Yeah. Margins,
Hey,
very nice.
Hey guys, I gotta get out of here. I went over 24 minutes past my timeline, so I love y'all.
Well, we're
Have a
calling
good
it a
one.
night.
Take care, brother.
We're
I'll talk
calling
to
it
you.
a night. So good show, you guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. Adios.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
All right.